Flipping brought us a present.
Listen, can I just get the present over here so I can show the camera?
Get me
The situation and the
with a card, not just a present with a card.
The festivities. That's
the other person that's got us a present is Nov.
Yeah, the only other person I got us a present is Novelist.
Get me.
But yeah, boom.
So that's for all you.
You slight. No, I'm joking. No, we appreciate
everyone.
For sure. With a card as well.
But 2022, just know if you do come on the podcast,
I lie.
Empty-handed.
Yeah, man.
Don't come to man's yard empty-handed.
I like.
Where's your respect?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that part. I like Supermalt. So.
And I like a monster. No, I like a monster mango.
Kofi likes water. So
heavy for sure.
So,
but no,
yeah.
shout out our guest George for getting us a present, man. Appreciate it, bro. For sure.
But you already know, it's your boy, the one and only.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, before I go into this, everyone listening, we are on a mission to get Nick his own nickname.
I need one.
We're getting Nick a nickname.
Yeah, we're getting Nick a nickname. Nickname Nick. Nickname Nick. Nickname Nick.
All right, guys, if you listen to this, game over.
Nickname Nick. That's all. That's the challenge. Nickname Nick, man. I need a nickname because Kofi's got, and I only deeped it last episode.
Yeah,
Kofi's one's cool.
It's mad, isn't it?
Mr. Grey Area. That's
why?
Crazy. Well, why is it Mr. Grey Area?
Yeah.
You have to listen to the intro.
Yeah, you got
to find out
why that. Yeah, it's not.
But if you know Kofi and you know what he's about, it'll make sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
that was sick. And obviously, 00 straightening. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, man. No, tell the listeners a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, man.
What you're about and stuff like that.
Cool. I like to call myself a creative journalist. So in short, storytelling. Right now, I work at a gallery. I do communications and content. So that's all about whenever there's an exhibition, how can we get people to be excited about the world of photography? So every single exhibition, it's about looking at photography culture, looking at visual culture, image culture. Why is a story told by photography so important? Why is it that this image resonates with the world that we're living in right now? So in short, that's what I do. But on the side, I do freelance photography. I do branding, I do marketing, I do a bit of other stuff as well. Yeah. And on the weekends, I'm Batman here and there.
You're Batman.
I'm Batman, you know.
What do you mean by that?
This is how I told you. We get it in. Trying to get it into, nigga.
It's too early for this.
Hey, man, listen,
it's too early.
Listen, I see the bat sign outside.
I see the bat calling.
You get me? So Bruce,
dangerous.
You said are you Bruce right now or you're Batman?
I'm Bruce right now, yeah.
Alright, cool. We're going
Put it this way,
Batman.
you've never seen Batman and me in the same room, have you? At the same time.
That's a good point.
There you go.
He's got a good point.
I mean,
thank you.
If you blink really slowly, that might give you enough time to
make
put the costume up. You get me?
Trust.
But yeah, now we're gonna bring Batman out in about 40 minutes. So.
Say no more.
Maybe an hour might give you a little extra time.
Say no more.
But that's proper interesting still for obviously someone who is, get me, creative as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think all of us are in that sort of lane, obviously in different branches. Like got your fashion, fitness, photography. Yeah. Kofi is like more acting, drama. Do you get me? But yeah, no. I think photography is something that is definitely prominent in all lanes.
Oh yeah, definitely
in everything, because it's about capturing moments. Do you get me?
Yeah.
But for me personally, obviously I've done photography for a long time, but more from an event point of view, capturing events, birthdays, weddings, blah blah blah. But from a more creative, sort of more abstract point of view, what do you think? Like, what do you think the difference is? You've probably done both as a freelancer and both like as your job for like the gallery or something like that.
Do you know what? Event photography for me is so hard.
You think?
I find it so hard because one, like you speak with a person, they want to get X amount, they want to get a certain output. They say we want this, we want wedding photos, we want birthday photos, we want this look, this feel, this style. And a lot of the times, the type of photography I do, it doesn't suit the event. So I do documentary photography and I'll get still life photos. I'll get portraits, but then they've sent me
action shots. and
exactly,
stuff like that,
exactly.
yeah.
And I'm trying to keep up with the pace of the event. I'm trying to be running around, trying to get this done, that done. I need extra lights. I'm sweating. There's a lot going on right now.
Girls are trying to whine on me. It's a bit strange in there.
Yeah,
Man done this with his batsuit.
it's that
Says
time.
not time yet.
It's that time. It's that time. But yeah,
Time yet, man.
but I find event photography really hard, and people who do it really well, I'm like, more power to you, because
Yeah.
that's a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
But in terms of other types of photography, like documentary photography, still life, vernacular photography, I think now more than ever, just images are just so important. And it's not just photography, it's about what when we look at things, when we look at marketing, when we look at branding, when we look at billboards, what image do we see? How do we resonate with it? What story is it telling us of the time that we're living in right now? And that's why when we turn on the news, we see newspapers, we check out social media, we see all these images that we're plagued with every single day. It's reinforcing messages into us. So when you get a piece of photography or a photo series that gets you to stop and to slow down and to really think, what role do I play in society? To really think, what's the state of the world right now? I think that's so powerful.
Yeah.
And for example, I was reading a bit into the science of platforms like, do you remember Vine?
Yes.
That was such a good platform.
For like the 30 seconds it existed.
Yeah.
It was there for a short time. Short time, not a long time.
Definitely,
Short time,
definitely.
yeah. But yeah, just having videos that play for 6 seconds, because I read apparently human beings, we make judgment of things within the first 6 seconds. So we decide if we like it or not, if we want to pursue it or not within the first 6 seconds. So just Vine being a social media platform that captures your attention on a visual in a visual way within the first 6 seconds, that's powerful. So when people come to galleries and exhibitions and they look at photos, and on average it's around, I think, less than 20 seconds that someone spends looking at a photo. To have someone come into a gallery or to see a photo and to spend more than 20 seconds, more than 30 seconds, to spend a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes looking at a photo and really deepening it and asking themselves questions, for me, that's so powerful.
Yeah.
Especially with how quick things are these days.
Yeah.
So that's why I love photography. That's why I love visual culture. That's why I love media, arts, and all that stuff.
Brilliant. You know what's mad? That right there, what you just said, that's a snippet in itself.
There
Cut
is,
that
man.
joint
Yeah.
up.
I'm
Boom. Promo.
Batman's calling me.
No, straight up. Do you know what it is? Because what you've just said to me, yeah, as you're saying it, you're thinking, all right, cool. On average, people will judge things within the first 6 seconds. I'm like, ah, cool. How can I use that as my advantage?
Yeah.
We might have to start our episodes a little bit different. You know what I mean? Just go straight in. Yo, this is what's happening.
First
Okay,
6 seconds,
this. You want to listen? Get involved. So mad's gonna happen in about an hour and a half. Okay, just hang in there.
Using these seconds to tell you what's going on.
Trust me.
No, that's powerful for sure.
But what he just said, mine was more of the opposite in terms of, and I had this thought to myself quite recently, innit? Is, you know, when just in life we're making decisions, like I'm talking about like our day-to-day decisions, like something you do that's routine, innit? I told myself, what will happen if I slow down and actually things that have become automatic for us to just get up and do. Like you get up, the first thing you might do is make a cup of coffee or do this or do that. You're just living in like a routine, like no autonomy, innit? What will happen if you slow down and you actually became present in those moments more and actually made a decision
And deep in what you're doing.
deep what you're doing instead of like just living on autopilot. Because a lot of the time, especially even with social media, like once you jump into that's why I say the real side of Instagram, TikTok is mad. Because once you jump into that, it's like a different world, and you just find yourself just automatically just scrolling and scrolling, and you're not even thinking that you're scrolling. By the time you know it, you've probably swiped 30 pictures or 30 videos, but you haven't realized it because you're not actually your body just, or your brain just goes into get me into autopilot, and it's just like, this is what I'm meant to do. That's like what I think more and more we're sadly losing more and more control over like the decisions we make
And the time we spend.
Exactly, and what you said is like the images that we're getting shown nowadays. It's like it's shaping us and it's influencing us, innit?
But it works both ways. It works both ways.
It depends what the content is.
I don't feel like we're losing control. I feel like we're giving up our power. We're giving up our control. I say that in the sense where every time, like you're saying, we're swiping through TikTok or Instagram or all these platforms, and if we're putting all of our energy, if we're putting all of our time on certain videos, it's going to change our algorithm. It's going to change our feeds. So the type of content that they give us back is based on where our interests lay. So let's say I hate to speak about politics, but let's say when Brexit was happening, it was so toxic on Twitter. So toxic.
For sure.
We were only seeing viewpoints that we agreed with. We were speaking into echo chambers. And that's because when you engage with a post that's similar to what you believe in, the algorithm is going to give you the same type of content.
But that's... Did I cut you off?
Did.
Sorry, I apologize. Go on.
Now I've lost my trail of thought, bro.
No, I was bouncing off of that
vexed.
though. But that's what I think. That's what social media is designed for.
It is.
It's designed to give you more of what you want.
What you want, exactly.
Do you get me?
And that's kind of like, that's a selling point of like, I need it because I want it.
Yeah.
And then you keep thinking, okay, cool. The more they give me what I want, this is more I'm going to spend time on it. But
It's good and bad.
yeah,
It's
it's
good and bad.
Because think of it when you was younger, yeah. Like when we was younger, and social media wasn't what it was today or easily accessible, yeah. And say, I don't know, you're coming up to your birthday or Christmas, whatever. You ask your mum for the maddest present.
Yeah.
And she says, nah, I'll get you something else. More time, that was it.
No choice, innit?
You just have to accept it. But with social media, you want something, say you might look at it once, but yeah, I mean, I have to save up for it or whatever. Then next pick, you see it, it's an advert that comes on. The next one. So all in your mind, you're like,
yeah,
that's all you're thinking of getting.
Literally, bro.
Do you get me? Whereas before, you want it, you can't have it. All right, cool, move on to the next thing. And you just live your life. Do you get me? And more time, if you think of, for me personally, a lot of the things that I wanted when I was younger that I'd never got, it wasn't like I then got it, unless I really, really wanted it. I just moved on and just forgot about it.
Exactly.
You get me? And I'm probably got something else that gave me a different feeling from whatever. But I think so, yeah. So to be honest, it depends on the content that you're watching. But I think, especially like
what
social
content
media,
you watching, bro?
Who, me? Ebony. I'm joking. I'm trying to remember, bro.
You said content, not categories, bro.
Content is content, bro. What's going on? No, I'm joking, bro. I'm joking.
That's why I bring it up. Go.
Nah, but me, fam, I think I'm one of the like types of people who has so many different types of interests. Like, so like you could probably look at me and think, oh yeah, I know what he's on, but hands down, you wouldn't. You wouldn't know what I'm on. Like,
Sure.
even the other day when going through the
Spotify
thing.
yeah. The Times news brief.
Listen, how many? Even I was even gonna say the genres, the different genres.
Oh,
that
there's
you
different
listen to,
genres, yeah,
For
for
yours was
sure.
like what, 40 or 50? I can't remember how many genres you had. Different types.
44,
of genres.
and you had 102 or something
8
like
or
that.
3 or something
8
like
or
that.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Like I have so many.
Was that the Spotify top 5?
Yeah, the rap.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
rap
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I have so many types of interests. But a lot of the time, mine is historical stuff. Things that's happened in the past.
Yeah.
Even when it does come to photography, the types of pictures, I can sit down and look at World War II or World War One images for like the whole day, or like images from like the Vietnam War or something. History in me is just proper intertwined. I don't know why.
I agree completely, and that's actually why I'm wearing this ring, the Sankofa bird. It talks about either looking back at the past or going back to something and returning. The same way that we have to look back at images, photography, stories to help inform us where we are today. I think it's so powerful. Definitely. Otherwise, what's that quote? If we don't learn from yesterday, we're doomed to repeat tomorrow. Something like that.
Yes.
Do you know what's the
I
quote?
believe in that though.
What's the quote?
I don't know the quote,
But you know what?
I know what you're talking about, and I believe in
quotes to
that.
that though as well.
Like
Yeah.
those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, facts. And even when you watch clips or even like when you listen to like your grandparents, yeah. And if you're lucky to still have them alive, innit? And then I always say this is like one of the times when what hit me the most, the hardest, when my grandpa passed away, innit? Because I was planning to go see him in like a couple of weeks out. That's when he passed away. And my intention was like to go there and just pick his brain. Do you get me? But when you actually listen to elder people speak and you get advice from them, most of the time the advice is actually like the simplest types of advice.
Yes.
Like say your thank you, say your please.
Yeah.
Make sure you do your bed and like when you wake up first thing, like those type of things, yeah. Because in the grand scheme of things, with all social media, peer pressure, blah
Exactly.
blah blah, what we actually think is important is not, because
It's not.
the cycle of life
Yeah.
over the years has remained, is still the cycle of life.
Literally that.
You get me?
And you know what's crazy is that there's a few of these videos going around at the moment, and they kind of go viral, where, and a lot of you guys are going to understand what I'm talking about, but basically there's these videos, yeah, and there may be reels or TikToks, and they're literally just people tidying up. So they'll be they'll wake up in the morning, it will show that it's like 4 a.m. or whatever, they'll tidy up, they will make themselves like coffee or tea, they'll check their news, or they'll check like their stocks or something, and then they'll go to the gym, and it's all these videos of people just doing normal stuff to music, right? And for some reason, that just people love those videos, but it's like, that's normal reality.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to be doing. Like, these are things that, like you said, getting our grandparents and older people telling us what to do. There wasn't social media when they was our age. So the advice they're giving us is not based on what they saw other people doing. It was based on what they had to go through themselves physically in the moment, what they were doing. They weren't distracted by social media and Instagram.
Exactly. It's just like how to be an actual human being, fam.
Literally.
You get me? Even something, one of the advice that I got, I think I first heard it from one of my second school teachers, yeah, and then I heard it again from like a family member, like how to shake someone's hand. When you're shaking someone's hand with a firm grip and you make eye contact.
Yeah.
But then since then, I've realized so many people who don't know how to give a proper handshake.
Don't do that.
Do you get me? And then you can tell a lot about someone, or even just by their confidence, by the way they interact with you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think naturally we're just becoming so blind to those little things, like triggers and like points that's made, because like our attention is elsewhere. Do you get me? And to be honest, linking it back to photography, especially when you're looking at historical like pictures, or like pictures from the past year, if you're the type of person to be able to get lost in pictures, like I'm able to like lose myself in pictures, you kind of like realize, rah, fam. You see them and you just straight away get the idea in the picture of how they was living their life whenever that picture was taken.
Yeah.
Do you get me? And as someone who does photography, you know what actually goes into taking the pictures. Most of the time you're just capturing natural stuff. Whereas in an event or whatever, that would be happening whether we're here or not. We just happen to be capturing it.
Exactly.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
So having that mindset of like, I'm looking at this picture, it's like a window into then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just captured forever. Or
Yeah.
for however how long that picture lasts for.
There's a quote, someone says, a photograph is you.
Damn, man, what's going on today?
It's been a long day.
I can help you out. I can build you out. I've got a question.
It talks about a photograph is basically you taking a slice of eternity, something like that. So it's you immortalizing eternity. You're literally documenting the time in history.
Okay.
And
It's so
you
mad,
doing
fam.
that. It tells a story. I think that's the quote. I'm all over the place today.
All right, let me ask you this question. So at what point did you begin this journey of being so enticed by photography, wanting to do it, wanting to take it on as a career?
Yeah. Do you know, it didn't start as photography at first.
Okay.
It started off as just, again, like storytelling and arts and how one person is able to tell a story about themselves or where they're from. And it definitely came from my granddad.
Okay.
Definitely came from my granddad. When I was about 7 years old, just seeing publications of my granddad, where he's been around the world, the different type of artworks he's produced. Excuse me. Ain't COVID.
It's cool, man.
Different type of artwork he's produced. 1 second, guys.
Are you sure, nigga?
I'm sure.
You sure, bro?
Just give
Sound
him a pat on the back.
Sound like vid, bro.
Don't touch me.
Sound like the vid right there. No, we hope not. We hope not, for sure. We
Let me
hope
redo that.
not. No, do your thing, man. Do your thing, for sure. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
so can you ask me the question again? Genuinely forgot.
So yeah, where
What
did it
got you?
begin? The artistic
Interest.
side of you. Where did it begin? Where did you get your inspiration from?
Yeah. For my granddad.
Yeah.
For my granddad. So when I was about maybe 6, 7 years old, just always hearing stories about my granddad. From my mom, from my grandma, God bless her soul. my uncles as well. Just seeing the type of artworks that he produced, so sculptures, fine arts, drawings, illustrations, and the type of people that he's presented his artwork to. So the president of Senegal at the time, I believe Prince Charles, so many people, whether they're in Ghana, in Africa, around the world, and at the same time he had his own factory producing plastic goods or plastic goods. Let me just put it that way.
Okay.
Just seeing he was an entrepreneur, he was an artist, he was a man that cared about his family. He was also helping out in ministry as well. He did a lot. But most importantly, I'm really sorry, guys.
That's cool, bro. Normal, man. We are human beings, bro. It's good. You straight.
Sorry, guys. Something in my throat. Yeah, just hearing about how he was able to use his gift and his art to tell stories and to impact people, and hearing where he came from, how he was abandoned as a child, just his backstory was incredible. My mum has been a creative person. My grandma's creative as well. I just come from a family where they really value the arts, but they also value education as well.
Yes.
So my granddad was definitely the reason why I do what I do today. And even so much so, that's why I took his last name and I added it to mine, because I want to be part of his legacy.
You took it yourself?
I said, give me that.
Yeah, that's it.
Let me hold that.
Let
me keep that warm. Let me hold that one right there.
That's it.
That's decent. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, just to add to that, as great as my granddad was and is, I was always confused as to how he'd describe himself. So he'd say he's an artist, but then there's certain stories that I would hear that granddad would say when the white man sees it.
Yeah.
When the white man sees his artwork.
Yeah.
That's when he'll take off. These could just be stories, but when I heard that,
that's when it'll take off, as in that's when it will do well.
Yeah.
Said that. Did I say that? The plan, sorry to cut you off, bro.
Do it again.
The plan
Do it again.
is to do your thing.
Yeah.
And then when the white man sees it, that's when you blow. That's
But
like
I didn't agree with that mentality.
No, for sure, but that is essentially what happens, isn't it? Like that's what happens. It's like not what we're doing right now, but for example, what we do right now, if a big company comes, we like the platform that we're on, that we drop on, if they come to us and say, yo, hold this and produce what you do, but just do it and we'll pay you X, Y, Z, that's the white man coming and taking care of us. So yes, it's true. You wouldn't necessarily agree with it for your granddad. Like, I wouldn't see it that way. However,
that's the reality.
That's the reality of what goes on. I'm saying, which is tough, but that's just what we live in sometimes. But go.
Let me land, man. Yeah. So these are just stories that I heard. That apparently he said that. So from a very young age, I was always confused as to why granddad would think that way. Because I'm like, you're so talented at what you do. You're amazing. You're gifted. You're all these things. And just growing up in life, I've always been a curious person, asking people, why are you the way that you are? Why? What makes you you? I'm always curious to hear someone's story. So growing up, went through secondary school. My brother had a camera at the time, Canon 55-0D, and he wasn't utilizing it. So he said, hold that. He said, I can use it. Hold that. He literally said that, yeah. God bless my big brother. And for me, that was really something that reminded me that photography and images, it's just another way to tell stories. Another way to tell stories. And since then, I go to the park, I go to different places, I take images, I meet strangers, ask them questions. I don't always post what I do, but the camera is just a tool to help start conversations. And I just love it. Yeah. I love it so much. I'm curious about the process of it, going to dark rooms, the mechanics behind the camera, but I'm also curious in almost the camera being a ministry. You going into the streets, you speaking to people, you asking them questions, you finding out things that you never would have imagined you'd find out because you have a camera and you're leading with curiosity and asking people, tell me your story. And I think people want to be heard. So when you invite them to say, tell me about yourself, it might be vulnerable, it might be intimidating at first, but it requires you to be vulnerable with your camera, but it also requires them to open up as well. And there's a special moment when you're taking a picture of someone and they let their guards down. Bro, it is so spiritual, it's special. It's like, wow, they trust you, you trust them, and in that moment you're creating a beautiful story. And that's what I love.
That's how you DM me. Yeah. That's actually how we actually.